One who is incapable of violence is not a pacifist. They are merely harmless. A pacifist is capable of great violence, but only employs it to defend those in need. That is the way of the Selesnya warrior. Stay with us to learn the way of peace and harmony. Hi everyone, and welcome to another contemplative episode of
The Dungeon Crashers.
I'm Guy.
And I'm Zapil. Before we get started, remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this video to help share our vision to the masses and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our transformative D&D content. Today we continue our journey through the plane of Ravnica with a visit to the Selesnya Conclave. The Selesnya are the guardians of the great trees of Ravnica, especially the world tree Vitagazu. Their leadership includes powerful dryads and other nature spirits, as well as druids and priests of nature. The Selesnya also protect the remnants of nature in the world with the vast parks and gardens and maintain order on the trade roads that span the great city. They are believers in peace and harmony, and their members strive to commune with nature and their fellow beings. Unfortunately, not all people are peaceful, and the citizens, and most importantly the trees, need defending. The militant arms of the Selesnya include the Pegasus Riders, Elven Archers, Worm Callers, who are shamans that command great destructive worms. The most visible of these is the Ledev Guardians, whose ranks include elves, humans, centaurs. Other races may be included, but they are not common. The non-centaurs typically ride giant wolves that they communicate with so smoothly that some people think it's telepathy. In addition to being great warriors, the Ledev are diplomats and healers who prefer peaceful solutions over violence and only use their arms to defend their charges. Our hero is one such warrior. We are going to be a centaur. We were raised in the Conclave and want nothing more in life. We are using the centaur from Monsters of the Multiverse. The centaur from the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica would work as well, but their bonuses to wisdom isn't helpful for this character. Centaurs are fey creatures. Their size is medium, but they stand much taller than humans or elves and have an equine build that lets you count as one size larger when determining your weight when you can carry, push, or drag. They also have difficulty climbing due to their equine feet. Climbing requires 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot of climb. Their walking speed is 40 feet, and they can charge. When they move 30 feet straight at a target and hit it with a melee weapon attack, you can make an attack with your hooves as a bonus action. A centaur's hooves are an unarmed strike that deals 1d6 plus your strength modifier and damage, and centaurs are proficient with these unarmed strikes. As a fey creature, centaurs have an affinity for nature and gain proficiency with your choice of animal handling, nature, medicine, or survival. We are taking animal handling. We are going to want it for roleplay reasons and won't get it from our class. We also speak common and one language of our choice. We want fey for our language in order to speak with dryads and other such beings.
And like all the guilds of Ravnica, the Selesnya Conclave has a unique background that offers similar benefits as other backgrounds, but also adds spells to any spell list you have at certain levels, and we'll discuss those spells as they become available. The Selesnya Initiate background gives proficiency with the skills Nature and Persuasion, and one type of artisan's tool or musical instrument, and we're going to play the lyre. Our nature, when not forced into combat, is to be artistic and carefree. It also gives those with this background Conclave Shelter. The Conclave will give the character food and shelter at any enclave, and will hide them from the law or anyone else seeking them, although they will not risk their lives or the safety of the enclave to do so. The character and their companions can also receive free healing at any enclave, although they must provide any material components. Centaurs receive the ability boosts that are standard in Monsters of the Multiverse, which are 3 plus 1 bonuses that can be put wherever they wish, but no more than 2 on a single ability. Using point buy, we put 14 on strength, making it 16 with 2 of our bonus points. 8 on dexterity. We are wearing heavy armor and really only need it for initiative. We put a 14 on constitution. We are fit and healthy. We put a 10 on both intelligence and wisdom. While more or both would be welcome, we will have skills to get what we want from them. And we put a 15 on charisma, making it 16 with our remaining bonus point. For our class, we're going to be taking paladin. As with all of our Ravnica builds, this is going to be a single class character. We like multi-classing here on the Dungeon Crasher, but single-class characters can be fun, powerful, and flavorful, and we're using our Ravnica series to highlight them. At first level Paladin, we get 2 skills from the list, and we want Religion and Insight. As a Ledev, we are expected to serve as a diplomat and to recruit followers to the Conclave. We also gain proficiency with all armor and shields, simple and martial weapons, as well as wisdom and charisma saves. We're going to use the heaviest armor available and a shield. For a weapon, we want to use a lance, but there is a small rules question. With a lance, you can wield it one-handed, but only when mounted. It's unlikely the centaur is going to be mounted, but most DMs will allow you to count as mounted due to your equine build. However, since it's not rules as written, we're going to build this character to be suitable with any one-handed melee weapon. In addition to the lance, we're going to carry a longsword, warhammer, or battle axe for close combat, and several javelins for range attacks. Paladins get Divine Sense, a number of times per day equal to 1 plus their Charisma modifier. They can use an action to detect fiends, celestials, or undead within 60 feet, and they can also detect consecrated or desecrated areas. Paladins also gain Lay on Hands, which is a pool of healing that contains a number of hit points equal to 5 times their paladin level that they can use to heal themselves or others. They can spend 5 points from this pool to cure someone of one poison or disease affecting them.
Mm-hmm. At second level, Paladins gain a fighting style, and we're taking Dueling, giving us a +2 to the damage dealt with any weapon that they wield in one hand. If your DM allows Centaurs to use a lance one-handed, this works with it also. Paladins also gain spellcasting. They are prepared casters and can prepare a number of spells equal to their Charisma modifier, plus half their Paladin level rounded down. So at every even-numbered Paladin level, they can prepare one more. They start with 2 first-level spell slots, and from the Selesnya Initiate background, it adds the spells Aid, Animal Friendship, and Charm Person to the Paladin list. We are going to prepare Charm Person for situations that we wish to resolve peacefully, but remember, after the spell ends, the subject will know that magic was used on it and become hostile. We also will prepare Divine Favor, which for up to 1 minute, depending on concentration, adds 1d4 radiant damage to all of our melee attacks. This is cast as a bonus action, so doesn't prevent us from attacking on the round we cast it. We also want Cure Wounds and Command. Command is a useful and versatile spell that will give us a number of advantages in combat. Paladins can also use their spell slots for Divine Smite. When they strike an enemy with a melee weapon attack, they can expend a spell slot dealing an additional 1d8 radiant damage to the target and additional d8 per level of the spell slot. At third level, Paladins swear an oath, and we are taking Oath of the Ancients. This oath concerns itself with defense of nature, fighting supernatural enemies, celebrating beauty, music, and art, and being an example of peace and virtue. The paladins that follow this oath have a strong connection with nature and good creatures from the Feywild. Paladins of this oath gain 2 channeled divinity options that they can use once per short or long rest. The first of these options is Nature's Wrath, which allows them to call spectral vines to restrain enemies, and the second is Turn the Faithless, which is similar to Turn Undead but affects Fey and Fiends within 30 feet and exposes those that are disguised by illusions or shapeshifting. As a Selesnya, you may often have Fey as allies, so be careful when using this to only affect evil Fey and Fiends rather than your friends. The Oath of the Ancients also adds oath spells, which are always prepared and don't count against the number of spells we can prepare. At this level, we gain Speak with Animals and Ensnaring Strike. Speak with Animals can gain useful information and even get animals to perform small services. Ensnaring Strike requires concentration, but can restrain enemies we strike with an attack. Third level Paladins gain Divine Health, making them immune to disease, and they get a third first level spell slot.
At 4th level, Paladins gain an ability improvement or feat, and we want to increase our strength to 18. Melee fighting is our specialty, and we need to be as strong as possible. At this level, a Paladin can also prepare another spell, and we are taking Animal Friendship from our background. It charms a beast for 24 hours or until an ally harms it. Combined with Speak with Animals, this could gain us an ally stronger than what a Beastmaster Ranger is capable of getting. Unlike Charm Person, this does not cause the animal to be hostile when the duration expires, although it could be depending on the circumstances. This means you can charm it again or even befriend it without magic if you treat it well. We are proficient with animal handling, and although it is a wisdom base, not charisma, we should still be able to make an animal loyal to us. At 5th level, Paladins gain extra attack, allowing them to make 2 attacks instead of 1 when taking the attack action. They also gain a 4th first level spell slot and 2 second level spell slots, and can prepare second level spells. Our background adds the spells Animal Messenger, Calm Emotions, and Warding Bond to the Paladin spell list, and we're going to prepare Calm Emotions instead of Charm Person to help resolve conflicts peacefully, and we will prepare Prayer of Healing instead of Cure Wounds. Although it has long casting time, it's an incredibly efficient out-of-combat healing spell. Oath of the Ancient gives Misty Step and Moonbeam as oath spells, and both are very useful and powerful spells. Now, this does make us rely more on our second level spell slots, but that will free up more of our first level slots for smiting. At 6th level, Paladins gain Aura of Protection, which allows them and allies within 10 feet to add the Paladin's Charisma modifier to all saving throws. This is one of the best reasons to be a Paladin alongside Smiting, and makes a Paladin and their party difficult for enemies to deal with. Paladins can also prepare another spell at this level, and we're going to start preparing Magic Weapon if we've not acquired one, or Branding Smite if we have, to help deal with invisible opponents. At 7th level, Oath of the Ancients grants the ability Aura of Warding, which grants the Paladin and their allies within 10 feet resistance to damage from spells, and they also gain a third 2nd level spell slot. And at 8th level, Paladins get another ability booster feat, and we're going to increase our Constitution to 16. We're a frontline fighter, and even though we have healing and heavy armor, we're going to need hit points to survive our battles with evil. Paladins can also prepare an additional spell at this level, and it doesn't matter which, as we will be able to prepare 3rd level spells next. I would probably use this to prepare Cure Wounds or Lesser Restoration for the time being to complement our role as a healer.
At 9th level, Paladins gain 2 3rd level spell slots and can prepare 3rd level spells. The Selesnya background adds the spells Plant Growth and Speak with Plants to the Paladin list for us. We are going to begin preparing Spirit Shroud instead of Divine Favor, which adds 1d8 that can be Radiant, Necrotic, Cold, and slows enemies within 10 feet. Alternately, we could prepare Crusader's Mantle, which provides the benefits of Divine Favor to ourselves and all allies within 30 feet. We also want to trade whichever spell we started preparing last level for Dispel Magic or Remove Curse to better protect our allies. Oath of the Ancients grants Paladins Plant Growth and Protection from Energy as Oath spells. While neither of these spells we would normally prepare, they are both excellent in the right situations, and having them always prepared means that we will have them when those situations occur. At 10th level, Paladins gain Aura of Courage, preventing them and allies within 10 feet from being frightened as long as the Paladin is conscious. Paladins can also prepare another spell at this level. A Revivify could be vital if no one else in the party can cast it. If otherwise, prepare Dispel Magic or Remove Curse if you already haven't prepared it. At 11th level, Paladins gain Improved Divine Smite. Now all the Paladins' melee weapon attacks add a d8 radiant damage, even if you are not expending a spell slot to smite. By rules, neither Divine Smite or Improved Divine Smite work with unarmed strikes, such as a Centaur's hooves. We ignore this in our game, and D&D designer Jeremy Crawford has said that the restriction was done for flavor reasons and not for the game balance, so your DM may be willing to ignore it as well. Paladins also gain an additional 3rd level spell slot at this level. At 12th level, Paladins gain an ability and score improvement or feat, and we are going to improve our Charisma to 18, both for spell attack and saves, as well as power up our Aura of Protection. This will allow us to prepare 2 more spells, one for the level and one for improving our Charisma. We are gaining 4th level spells next level, so for now, take spells we mentioned earlier that you aren't preparing or anything else you feel your party needs.
And at 13th level, Paladins gain a single 4th level spell slot and can prepare 4th level spells. The Selesnya background adds Aura of Life and Conjure Minor Elementals to the Paladin list for them, but both are concentration and not always useful, so instead we are taking Death Ward, which is a powerful protection for ourselves or a more fragile ally, and also Banishment. Although Banishment does use concentration, it can eliminate many enemies or at least remove them from the fight while we deal with their allies. Oath of the Ancient gives the Paladin Ice Storm and Stone Skin as oath spells. Ice Storm is a very situational spell, but since we always have it prepared, we will probably find uses for it. Stone Skin is pretty good for its level, but the material component cost makes it rarely worth it. In our campaign, we don't have Stone Skin consume the component because we don't think the spell is powerful enough to need that limitation. Now, if this is the case in your campaign, it can be useful, but since it requires concentration, it still might not be better than the other concentration spells you could be using. At 14th level, Paladins gain Cleansing Touch, which allows the Paladin to end the effects of one spell on themselves or a willing creature, and can do this a number of times per day equal to their Charisma modifier. This does much of what we have been preparing Dispelled Magic for, and if another member of our party is capable of dealing with magical traps and other effects, we can trade Dispel Magic for one of the lower level spells we have stopped preparing, or something else our party may need. Paladins can also prepare an additional spell at this level, and Speak with Plants from our background can be useful for gaining information in many situations. At 15th level, the Oath of the Ancients grants the ability Undying Sentinel. When the Paladin would drop to 0 hit points, it drops to 1 instead. Then can't use this ability until after a long rest, and the Paladin no longer suffers the effects of aging and can't be aged magically. Now, if you find this makes Death Ward less useful, you could instead prepare something else. but Death Ward can also protect allies and could be used after we've already expended our use of Undying Sentinel for the day. Paladins also gain a second 4th level spell slot at this level. At 16th level, Paladins gain another ability score improvement or feat, and we're going to improve our strength to 20 to maximize our ability in melee combat. Paladins can also prepare another spell at this level. We're gaining 5th level spells next level, so for now, prepare any spell you think will benefit your party.
At 17th level, Paladins gain a 5th level spell slot and can prepare 5th level spells. Our background adds Commune with Nature and Awaken to the Paladin list for us. Commune with Nature is a great divination, but we are going to get it as an oath spell. Awaken is not a spell we want to prepare, but out of combat can be used to gain a powerful companion. Oath of the Ancients gives us Commune with Nature and Tree Stride as oath spells. As I mentioned, Commune with Nature is a powerful tool for gaining information, and Tree Stride can allow you to travel quickly through the wilderness areas and could even be used as a combat tactic in the right situation. We will want to trade one of the spells we aren't using frequently for Destructive Wave. For its level, this is one of the best area of effect damage spells in the game. It deals 5d6 radiant damage and 5d6 thunder damage to the enemies you choose within 30 feet that fail the Constitution save and knocks them prone. Creatures that save take half damage and aren't knocked prone. It also is very flavorful if you stab your weapon into the ground, creating a shockwave of divine energy. We also might want to trade Spirit Shroud or Crusader's Mantle for Holy Weapon, which is a much superior spell for enhancing our melee damage. However, it might not be worth expending our precious 5th level spell slot for. At 18th level, the Paladin's Aura of Protection, Aura of Warding, and Aura of Courage all have their radius increased to 30 feet. This not only lets us protect more allies, it also lets allies who want our protection more freedom of movement. Paladins also can prepare another spell at this level, and now we can carry Holy Weapon for situations that we really need it, and still prepare Spirit Shroud or Crusader's Mantle for situations where we wish to preserve our 5th level spell slot. At 19th level, Paladins gain another ability score improvement or a feat, and we want to make our Charisma 20. Not only does it strengthen our auras, it increases the save DC of our spells, making Destructive Wave more effective. We also gain a second 5th level spell slot for more freedom to use our most powerful spells. Finally, at 20th level, we gain our capstone ability from Oath of the Ancients, which is Elder Champion. It transforms us for 1 minute, once per long rest, and while transformed, we gain the appearance of a powerful avatar of nature. There are many options for how this looks, but for this character, I see it gaining a bark-like skin and a massive set of elk antlers. The transformation also gives several abilities. At the start of each turn, the Paladin gains 10 hit points. Spells the Paladin casts that require one action instead only need a bonus action, and enemies have disadvantage on saves against the Paladin spells and channel divinity options. While only usable once per long rest, during that 1 minute, you will be a terror to any that would dare attack your charges or desecrate the holy groves of the Conclave. I think this build perfectly suits what a warrior of the Selesnya would be, almost to the point that it seems the Oath of the Ancients was designed for it. While formidable in combat, the character is at home in nature, capable of solving problems peacefully without resorting to violence, and its high charisma can serve as an example that will lead the people to join the Conclave. It also allows you to excel at art and music, which are skills highly prized in the Conclave. We hope you enjoyed this build and gain an appreciation for the Oath of the Ancients subclass. Let us know what you think in the comment section below, and join us next time when we finish our Ravnica series with an engineer from the Izzet Guild. And until next time,
Cheers.
cheers.